Morning! Here we are, another angling adventure. The rods are in, the coffee is brewed, let's get it on. Another Sunday angling adventure. Got the rods in. The action isn't as quick as what it was last week. By this time last week I had fish to show you, but it's all good. I have to address, there was a lot of comments last week about the audio. I'm using GoPros to film the stuff, guys. The audio ranges from poor to shit, I'll be honest with you. GoPro audios have never been good. I mean, the one that I'm using to shoot this, I had to buy a GoPro adapter that was like 60 quid just to plug in an additional microphone to it. But if the wind gets worse than what it is now, you know, the audio just gets shot to shit. So I apologise for the crap audio, guys, I really do. It's kind of something that's not really in my control at the minute. You know, I simply don't have the money to buy like a DSLR camera or something like that there, you know, with a proper microphone setup. I looked at one, like even like your basic Sony, it's like designed for like active vlogging, like going out into the world and stuff. By the time you get the camera and you get the lenses and you get the memory cards and then you get the microphones, you're talking just shy of £2 grand. Poor, working class, young kids, an angry woman for a wife. If I spend £2 grand on a camera, I'm going to get murdered in my sleep. So I apologise. If somebody's watching this and they're out there and they've got like an old one that's lying around not being used, you know, give me a shout and we'll kind of come to some arrangement, you know. But please bear in mind that skint. I'm fucking skint. Recently, when we moved into the house, you know, had a baby. The house needs a new kitchen, needs a new bathroom, needs new windows and doors. You know, so all of this has to be done. You know, I've finally got a source for some marine plywood for the boat that doesn't kind of feel like I'm being sexually abused paying for it. So I will get a big sheet of marine plywood and then I will get down to the boat and get it sanded down and get the floor put into it. Then get the floor fibered last and all that sort of stuff. You know, the aim at the minute is for the boat to be ready for next winter. You know, but again, looking at stuff like fish finders, like I looked at a hummingbird fish finder, and like your basic hummingbird fish finder, for like one that's like semi-decent, you know, you're talking £800 or £900. Again, a lot of money. And contrary to popular belief, these videos on YouTube don't earn me a lot, you know. I got comments going, you know, oh, the YouTube millions. They get millions. Last month it was like £8.70 for the whole month of adverts. It was like £8.70. It's going to take a lot more than £8.70 to make up money for a fucking fish finder. You know, I talked to a guy in America, and he has like he's got like 500,000 followers, and he says now YouTube is now his job. You know, it's his thing. But he was saying, you know, up until he had like 300,000 subscribers, he said it wouldn't be something that he could live on. He still had to work. He was like an angling guide in America. And you're there thinking, you know, I would love to live in Florida where he lives. I would love to have, you know, like the 30-foot Carolina skiff boat, you know, going out and catching marlin and sailfish. I would love to do all that. You know, but again, it's like, the YouTube doesn't pay you an awful lot. You know, so you're going to have to bear with me. Not doing the whole downtrodden poor me shit either, you know. It is what it is. I'm not on the high, not living high on the hog, if you know what I mean. But that's that one. I have the 4 rods out. I have on this side, I have a pollen that's sat kind of in the mid channel. On the middle rod in front of me, I have a smelt. I have a salmon power, and on that rod I have a pollen. Just up the bank, Mr. H has got 2 rods in.
Yep, pollen on the left hand, roach on the right.
Pollen and roach. I've had a cup of coffee. We're fishing kind of, you've not seen me fish this place before, but I've fished here, you know, quite a lot. I fished here for quite a lot for bream. In the summertime, it's nice, it's easy to get somewhere like here because you're away from like the clowns on the jetties. Unfortunately, you still get like the jet skis here in the summer, but I'm hoping that it's the winter time the jet skis guys are away. I'm fishing beside a bridge, so the bridge is structure, everything like structure. The wind's always moving this way, so hopefully there'll be shoalfish kind of in and around. There's always usually shoalfish in and around the bridge, so there should be pike after the shoalfish. The shoalfish will move up and down. You know, that way you have Corridilla, that way you have Derryad. You know, when you go further that way, you have the place we fished last week. Today we went looking. The first venue we went to, I got the van into the field and walked about halfway down the field, and again the mud was just everywhere, and it was like, nope, I'm not sitting all day in a bog. So we left. Tried to get on to Crom. The gates were closed, so we turned. I should really have known better. I should really get the code to Crom gates. I used to have the code, but they changed it. And then we kind of took a, but actually we went on a bit of a magical mystery tour this morning, trying to find different places to fish. And we ended up here, which isn't bad. This isn't a bad location. So I'm just wondering how today is going to go. Anyway, that's the plan for today. Normally where I'm sitting, if the water level was at the right level, this is underwater normally, but the lochs kind of went down again. So last week it was fairly high. This week it's down a bit, and apparently next week we're getting bad weather again, so it'll be up again. I honestly do not know what's happening with the weather. This doesn't feel like a winter. We've had what, 3 days of frost, a couple days of snow, that's it. You know, we've not had a sustained period of cold weather. There's a couple of guys that I know fishing the lower loch, and they've asked me, you know, do you think the pike have spawned out? Because the pictures they've sent me of all the fish have been hollow. And the fish that we caught last weekend, they were hollow, they weren't feeding up. You know, I don't think they've spawned. You know, I've certainly not seen any evidence of fish that have spawned, but normally if you catch jacks that have spawned, they're half et. You know, the big pike will turn on them and snap at them. And we certainly haven't seen that yet. So I'm not sure. What I think, again this could be bullshit, but what I think, the water hasn't got cold enough for a sustained period. So the pike haven't switched into winter mode and haven't begun to feed up. What I think happens when it gets cold, the pike go on the feed, because in their brain they know they've got to produce eggs. That'll take a hell of a lot of their resources out of them, so they eat to put on weight to make the eggs. And all the fish that I've caught recently, you know, they've all been fairly thin. There's no signs of them eating. They're not unhealthy fish, but they're not at this time of year you'd expect the fish you're catching to be kind of fat, because they're putting the weight on, because spawning is round the corner. I mean, it's nearly the end of January here. Spawning on the Erne, I've seen it, you know, mid to end of March, you know, mid to April. That's when I've seen pike spawning. So realistically we only have a couple more months to the time where, like, historically it would have been spawning time, and the fish don't look anything like something that's ready for spawning. But again, that's my theory. It could be absolute bullshit, And if you're out there and you're like an educated person that knows biology of aquaculture, then feel free to advise, you know, let me know. I did speak to a guy called Bruno Broughton, who's a doctor, like an actual marine biologist doctor, really smart man. And I can remember speaking to him like in the early 2000s, and he was kind of saying, you know, that the pike he looked at in England are a lot different to the pike he's seen in Ireland and the pike in Scandinavia. And you know, whereas in Scandinavia in the fjords you would have territorial pike that will sit in the one location and they won't move purely because they don't have to, because the food source is right in front of them. Whereas where the prey goes, the pike will move. And I kind of said to him, well, on the Erne where I fish, I think the pike they're following the prey. And he goes, that would stand to reason. You know, if you were fancying a Chinese meal or an Indian curry or a whatever, you know, you're going to move to where the food is. You know, it's the same for the pike. But let's see how today goes. I'm going to go and juice up some of my baits, give them some love with the oils, get some scent going through the water column. That sounds like a plan. I'll see you in a minute.
2 hours later.
Mr. H is in. Mr. H is in. Either that or it's the mother of all weeds. Oh wow, look at that I've just found.
Hello.
Nah, I think it's like some cheapy thing, the lip's broken and everything. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be there for you now, dude. It's a nice little jack. Yeah.
That's a fish.
This is true. This is true.
On the plank.
Well, you were on for not a blank after last weekend.
Oh, I was just praying. Didn't even get a run.
Very well. You're clear. Yeah, that's there. There we go. Right, one more. I chucked this thing up here by the bank. I think it's beside your, there's on top of your handle there. This one's a bit. This one's deformed.
That's right, but if I just kiting all over the place. Jeepers, oh.
This one's had its back broken at some point.
I was wondering for on the surface. I was like, geez. Then he just disappeared, kited off one side again.
Yeah, this one's had its. It's feeding enough. It's all right that way.
All right.
And it's hooked healthy enough.
Perfect. What a funny little fish.
I'll get some photos of it.
Yeah.
It's well enough hooked anyway.
After my weed fish incident and the double got away, I'm making
just
sure
take
it's
that.
on the hooks.
That is a strange one.
Is it weird? I was wondering, I couldn't understand. I was fighting really well, but couldn't get to the surface quick enough. Banana fish?
Yeah, banana fish. Where's my phone? Do I take a picture of that?
1 hour later.
Just had to have a wee shout. It's going right on top of my lines. I understand that the loch can be a big, beautiful place, but when you see anglers on the bank Give them a bit of space. You know, you're in a boat, you've got the whole lock. Manners. This is Boaty McBoatface revving the absolute bejesus out of his boat. I actually think he's grounded. My smelt rod just kind of popped into life there. The drop arm just kind of went like that. Oh, there's the tips knocking a bit. This is the popped up smelt. And the droning still continues. I doubt this dude is properly stuck, because all that I'm hearing is this guy revving the guts out of his engine. And it's just smoke.
Good effort?
Yeah.
You're not afraid to give it there, are you?
No. Well, what's the worst that could happen? He gets more stuck.
Camo?
Yeah. Then we had two guys troll kind of right over the top of my lines, well inside the marker, the shipping marker that says, you know, shallow ground, don't bring your boats here. And they acted all offended when I said to them, you know, guys, you're right on top of me, do you want to move? What? So much space, so much room for activities, and they want to come right on top of me. Up that way is Derryad Jetty. There's the Hare Krishna Island. I think that is a guy that's trying to unstick a cattle barge to take it across to the Hare Krishnas so they can do whatever it is to do with cattle. I know they don't eat them because they're vegetarians, but whatever they do with the cattle, that's their business. Oh, they're going to have a diesel tinge to them.
Yeah.
That guy is definitely trying.
He's really got himself in a hank. He's like, I am not backing down, I get this out.
Yeah.
Full send.
I wonder how much more smoke the engine can produce.
Oh, it's doing well. You hear the misfire, and that's why it's a lot of white smoke.
Yeah.
If we're any closer, I'd shout you can't park there.
Oh. There is the Lady Craigavon Bridge. For all of you that is unsure of where we are.
Oh yeah, we're up in the rev range. You're coming out of this whether you die or not. You actually start to smell it.
Yeah. Strange. We will keep you updated as to see whether the guy gets out or whether he's there forever.
1 hour later.
I'm not sure, but I think the stuck guy called the lifeguard. He called the RNLI to come and unstick him. What an absolute dick. It's a bit cold. We're not catching any fish, so let's have some cooking. A bacon sandwich will raise the morale. My windsock is getting in the way. Damn windsock. No messing about today, just normal sausages in a pan and some bread rolls. Need a morale booster. I'm not going to show you cooking. You've seen me cooking 1,000 times. We're having a sausage sandwich. It's going to be good.
Meanwhile,
Mr. Crow, right here, is commenting on the cooking skills today.
He's eyeballing up the lunch.
Yeah, he's saying there's bound to be some sausage there for me, but you might be disappointed. Normally, where I stand, where we're standing now, is like right normally at the water's edge. Where the rod pot is, normally that's well underwater. I'm going to show you why I use the leader, the little the rig tube and leader. I'm going to pick up a rock from just inside the water. I'm going to show you what's on the rock. Here's a normal rock from the shore. This is normally under the water. These things sticking to the rock, these are zebra mussels. Now normally these are open, but you see the little line in the middle of the zebra mussel? That's usually sat open like that there, and when your line or something touches it, it closes like that, and they can be like a razor blade. The thing with them, nothing eats them. I don't think nothing eats them. I heard some stories that bream eat them, but they are an invasive species that came here from the bilges of, well, boats. When they opened up the Erne Shannon waterway system to let the boat tourists come in, the boat tourists bring these little fucking things. So now, if you've got a rocky shoreline on the Erne, it will be lined with these things. Apparently, I don't understand how true this is, but apparently they have to have depths of a minimum of 3 feet for them to, like, where they live, where they like to live. So if that's right in the water, I'm not so sure that's the way it goes, but apparently 3 feet is kind of the minimum sort of depth that they like to live. I have seen them destroy braided lines, mono lines. I've seen them nip the plastic coating off trace wire. So when you come across here to visit, you got to beef up your gear accordingly. You know, this is why I fish a tight line. The last 2 foot of line that's anywhere near the bottom has got rig tubing on it to stop against those things. Of course, if you're fishing somewhere that's got like a ledge, there's different rigs to try and get around that, but basically you do not want your main line touching those damn things, otherwise you're going to get broke off, which sucks balls.
one eternity later.
Something is having a go at my pollen. No, leave it for the stuck guy and the...
Just wonder what allows we can get out of them.
just going to unclip this up. Let him have a bit of line here.
Yes.
And we are in.
Hey, hey, fish on! What that wee bay would produce today now? Boomerang fish?
Well, we've had stranger things today.
Well, it's been a funny old day on the loch. Appreciate the man for that was getting soft and funny thing.
Weird take though, man.
They're very funny again. Very cautious.
Happy days. We have a jack. Let me just get this rod, unclip it.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. It's actually healthy enough looking. Not a blank, buddy.
No, something's happened to his eye.
So I was looking at that. Yeah.
It looks like it's blind in one eye. And it's had bad handling on the side of its face here.
That's right. He was saying he got that turned into his mouth.
Yeah, on the pollen.
That's two fish on the pollen today.
That's just poor handling. That's somebody's. You can see somebody's. It's had a hook in here and it's come out.
Those gills and all are good, Nick.
Yeah, and it's blind in that eye.
I hear a lot of topic and stuff too, the rocky bottom. A wee photo.
We'll set him back in here. And there is no problem with that going back. Not a blank. Had a wee jack. That's two fish, one each. So it's a draw. Just doing a slow pack down here. No point kind of wrestling with this place in the pitch black. The sun's down, so this place will get dark fairly quickly. So I'm going to actually call time in it and take a slow drive home, because it's alright. It's been it's been cold enough in the wind, like, but you know, it's been a dry day, but it's just that wind, that being in your face, it's a bit nippy. Although having said that, I never wore the jacket today. When you put the gloves on, 20 minutes later your hands were too warm, so you took the gloves off. When I put my hands in the water to hold the fish, it wasn't that cold. So it's a bit all over the fucking place. So I'm going to wind these in, pack down, and then take a slow drive home. I'm thinking about next weekend being the weekend for an overnighter. But I'm not going to confirm that just yet, because I know you people love it when I don't confirm things, because you always remind me. But I will have a think about next weekend. I just have to, it's depending on the weather. I'm not doing another overnighter if it has kicking up a gale and horrible. You know, I don't mind cold weather. I honestly don't mind cold weather. I don't mind if it rains. But see, when it's kind of coming at you sideways and that I mind that. I don't want to do that anymore. You know, I have done pike fishing where I've been out and I've had to smash through the ice to get to where I was fishing, and I don't mind that at all. But setting up a bivvy and having the lake rise up around your arse, let's not do that again. I'm approaching a significant milestone, I guess. The 100th vlog for the channel. I got a message, an email from YouTube saying, you know, it's your channel's birthday, it's 2 years old, blah blah blah. And you kind of got to look around of how, well, it's been 2 years since I was starting to put the videos on it. I had a YouTube channel, you know, since like 2005 when it first kind of came out, just because you had to log on to watch the videos. But since I've started putting stuff on the channel, it's only been a couple of years. So for the 100th vlog, I don't know, I'm kind of half tempted to do something silly and do something to market, if you know what I mean. I'm not wearing a mankini and I'm not jumping in the lake, so those two ideas are flat out no. But I'm going to say adios for today, and I will catch us all next weekend. Tight lines, guys.
By sheer coincidence.
The rod's away again. Now what it is, it's weed. You see it there?
I see it. Had to make an appearance at some stage. No getting away from it this season.